Stream.
Okay, I'm retweeting. Yep.
Mintzy, we're here the last week of most people's fantasy regular season. How you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. It just always makes me sad that this 3.5 months have come and gone so quickly. But let's just get ready. Last weekend of people's regular seasons before the playoffs, a ton of stuff to get into. We got a lot of props we like. We got a lot of injuries to cover. There's a whole bunch of crap going on around the NFL, and we're going to take all of your questions and try to help you get in the playoffs. But before we do that, we need to thank our esteemed sponsors.
Yes. One thing to watch for as I pull up the ads is I mentioned this before. There's a lot of weather today, so be aware of that before placing your bets. We're going to go over all that in a moment. But first, the show is brought to you by Roman. Do you want a better sex life? If so, you are not alone. Up to 50% of men have symptoms that get in the way of wanting or enjoying sex, but Roman is here to help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men, and they address a variety of sexual health needs for men. Roman offers genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a stronger erection, and Roman offers discreet wipes to help you last up to 4 times longer in bed. Roman offers a testosterone test, which includes lab processing, and if it's appropriate for you, treatment for low testosterone. In men with low T, getting testosterone levels back to normal can help increase your libido. At Roman, there are no waiting rooms and no hassle. It's just a straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your own home. And if medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it directly to you, right to your door, with discreet packaging and free 2-day shipping. Go to row.co/FFF to save 20% off your entire first order. That's row.co/FFF. So not .com, it's .co. Just like the beginning of it, row.co, ro.co/FFF. Thank you for Roman for the partnership. But Mintzy, how are we feeling today? There's rain in a number of places today, which has me a little bit concerned as an overs better. How do you feel about today's card, and what are some plays that you like?
Okay. Before we get into it, let's hit the weather real quick. But just do you mind hitting the spots you're worried about?
Yeah, so almost all of the outdoor games. Let me pull it up. So the Giants-Eagles is going to have a little bit. Schefter reported that the Bucks-Niners later is going to have some rain. Jets-Bills should have a little bit of rain. Now, how severe it is, I think for the most part, it's fairly light. But for example, one of the props that I did like today was Devontae Smith over 4.5 catches, which he may very well hit. But I do remember that clip of him, and I think the rain today is going to be fairly light compared to what it was in Philly during that monsoon almost. It was a downpour, but he was just talking about how much he hated the rain and didn't like playing. And I think he had either 0 or 1 catch that game. So that's something that gave me some pause as a guy who was looking at props last night for a very long time. Is the weather. So I did kind of lean towards the more indoor games. I do have a little bit of weather, but not from the receiver or quarterbacking position.
Okay. Well, my thoughts. Okay, I'll go through and hit mine, and then you hit yours, and then we've also got injuries to touch on. Because real quick, what's the Saquon Barkley Matt Breida deal right now?
Saquon Barkley is going to be a game time decision. Let me see if that has been announced yet. But he was going to test it out midfield. He had a neck issue. All right, here we go. Officially active: Saquon, Trevor Lawrence, Amari Cooper, Zay Jones, and J.K. Dobbins. Officially inactive: Lamar Jackson, which we did expect.
Okay. All right, we're going to hit the plays for today. First, we kind of take it more the props route, but I'll also mention my game leans. I like under 228.5 Deshaun Watson passing yards in Cincinnati. I think Cleveland's got a shot in this game. This line went from Cincy by 6 down to 4. But the thing is, to beat Cincy, you can run on them, but they have a really good pass tee. And so I think they're going to pound Chubb. They're going to try to shorten the game. I was actually looking at the over 79.5 on Chubb too, but under 228.5 on Watson. I like under 241.5 passing yards on Dak Prescott. But here's why. They're going to beat the crap out of Houston, and you don't need to throw because Houston can't stop the run. Dallas is going to get up a couple touchdowns. The game flow is going to be grinded out, run it. I don't think Dak's going to air it out too much today, nor does he need to. The Tennessee-Jacksonville game, I like a parlay plus. Tennessee by 3.5. Derrick Henry to score not 1, but 2 touchdowns at plus 335 and over 90.5. Here's why. Last 6 games against Jacksonville, he's averaged over 144 yards a game. This is Derrick Henry time in December. Jacksonville, doesn't like leaving Florida in the colder weather time either. And I think this is a game where Henry eats. I'm loading up on Henry today. I think the Buffalo Bills crush the New York Jets. I'm even laying the 10. I think the Giants plus 7, they fight as a home dog. And then a couple unders I really like. I like under 44 a lot in KC Denver. These Denver unders keep getting to the window all year. KC and Denver games usually a little bit more of a grind. I think KC wins like 23-13, something like that. And then finally, I like DJ Moore over 62.5. And I'm looking at the under in Bucks Niners. So I throw a bunch of that, y'all, but I really like all that stuff today, Steven.
Love it. So my card, I put out the big brain parlay today. Zonovan Bam Knight for the Jets. His rushing yard over under is 35.5 at Buffalo. Expected to be a little bit of weather in that game. But 35.5 for a guy who is expected to start. And interesting and active is for the Jets, James Robinson is inactive. So Michael Carter Jr. is back, but James Robinson is inactive. So I expect Bam Knight to get a healthy amount of carries. I would think at least a dozen carries, in which case I fully expect them to grind at least 36 yards against Buffalo. I also kind of expect them to rely on the run quite a bit. One of my favorite props is actually over 1.5 field goals by the Baltimore Ravens today.
I like that.
Tyler Huntley is starting at quarterback, and in each Tyler Huntley game that he has started, they've kicked at least 2 field goals, up to 5 field goals in the game. So I really like that as a prop. They're playing the Steelers. I expect a low-scoring game with a lot of kicking. I took an adjusted tease down over 43.5 in Vikings-Lions, and then parlayed that with over – all this is parlayed together, but I took all the normal ones straight outside of this tease down over. TJ Hawkinson over 48.5 receiving yards. I've been betting him almost every week. I usually do catches, but he's playing the Lions today, which is his old team.
Oh, I like it.
So I think they're going to have a little more. They have adjusted for this. So it was at 49.5 yesterday. I bet it at that. It went down to 48.5 this morning. I rebet it at that. He's been like typically, I think his first game might have been like 70 yards, but he's been around like the 35 to 45 yard range. I have been paying pretty close attention. Kirk Cousins missed him a couple times last week for pretty big plays. I think that in a game that I expect to be pretty high scoring, that he's going to be a pretty good option. Plus, Justin Jefferson's going to get the Jeff Okudah treatment. So I like Hawkinson to have a pretty big game today.
I like it.
All right, let's get into a bunch of these questions. It's a huge week, huge. I am in a win and get in situation. I'm fighting for a bye in my other league. And obviously this is everyone's last week typically playing a normal schedule. Shout out to Reginator to remind people to like the stream, and shout out Big Dome for the 10X. Here we go. Will Coulter. Which Cowboys running back we starting, Zeke or Tony Pollard?
I wish you could start both. I mean, what a dream matchup. I think they're both going to eat today. I think Pollard's a little more explosive, maybe of the two, but Zeke's more likely to score. So
I would go Pollard here. Pollard has also been scoring. Pollard had a 2-yard touchdown, I think, last week. But Pollard has been really, really good. I almost made him my play of the week. On Friday, he was at 83.5 combined rushing and receiving yards. That went up to 87.5 last night. So I kind of stayed away. That's a pretty sizable increase. But I like Tony Pollard a lot. This is a huge spread. I wouldn't be crazy surprised if the Texans kept it to like a 2-score game. But I just think, the Cowboys are going to take the air out of the football.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go. From Christian Wright, unfortunate series of events, but I have to decide between Mac Jones at the Cardinals or Ryan Tannehill versus the Jags this week. Mintzy, you're heavy on Derrick Henry. Are you not heavy on Ryan Tannehill here?
I mean, I don't love him. I just think they're going to grind. This is just a Henry's going to eat game. Tannehill might score. I think I'd go Mac Jones indoors against Arizona over him. What do you think?
Okay.
It's close.
I hate starting Ryan Tannehill. He was pretty good a couple years ago as a QB2. Mac Jones is not. He's definitely not good, but he has played well in spots, and I think Arizona gives up the most fantasy points to tight ends, and they obviously have a tight end heavy offense. So with Jacoby Myers out, that could be a spot where Mac Jones has a decent game. So I'd go Mac Jones there.
Yeah, over under 2 points higher in New England, Arizona, which isn't a huge difference, but it is a little bit when you're factoring it in. Go Mac Jones.
Our guy Michael Kent, flex spot, choose one. Bam Knight, Michael Carter, or Mike Williams. Standard. Let's go, boys.
It's so nut. So Mike Williams is coming back tonight, Sunday Night Football. Dolphins, Chargers, over-under's 55. I think that game could get real wild with Tua and Herbert and the storylines there.
Yep.
But, man, it's ballsy to start Mike Williams with how, banged up and injury-prone he is. But I'm still going with it, and I'll tell you why. I just think the Jets are going to really struggle today. I mean, like across the board. I think Mike White's going to have a big regression game in Buffalo, and so I'm going with Mike Williams because I think there's going to be a lot of points there.
All right.
I know you like Bam Knight a little more than I do.
I like Bam Knight, but I mean, 36 yards isn't crazy.
Yeah.
From Hoseford 5, Dameon Pierce or Mike Williams PPR flex. I'm actually benching Dameon Pierce in a league I have him in.
I'm going Mike Williams here, PPR too. I think Mike Williams has targeted this game to come back, and like I said, it's going to get wild. And Pierce has had a good year. I feel like maybe he's hit the rookie wall a little bit lately too. And then teams have figured out that the Texans literally have zero passing game, whether it's Davis
Mills back starting today.
Oh, okay. I mean, the excitement. So I'd go Mike Williams here. And it's not Dameon Pierce is a hell of a player. Cheah, you were on him for the year. He's been very useful. It's not his fault everybody around him sucks.
Yeah. All right, from Matt Ebert, what's up, Phils? Full PPR. Do I go Darius Slayton, James Cook, or play both Josh Palmer and Mike Williams? So Mike Williams is starting. It's more of a pick one. Darius Slayton, James Cook, or Josh Palmer. PPR.
I think I'm going. You got me on Slayton lately, but he's been pretty hot.
Yeah. Eagles have been so good against the pass. I think overall, especially in PPR, he would be the best play here. James Cook is one to watch, though. I'm not going to make the full move there, but he took over the backfield last week.
Okay. No, and that makes sense. We always talk about rookies. Like, people get impatient early in fantasy seasons with them, and this is the time of year where they usually break out.
Yep. Yeah, I'm in between starting James Cook and Travis Homer in one league, and I think I'm going to lean Cook.
Okay.
All right, let's go. I'm a little bit behind the chat. Let me get caught up. Sorry. From our guy, Doreganator, best fantasy football show in the freaking game. Need this W to sneak into the playoffs. Full point, PPR, pick two, Deontay Foreman, Zonovan, Bam Knight, Michael Carter, or Isaiah Pacheco.
I know that Foreman's one of them because I think he could have a really good game against a pretty weak Seattle run defense. And I think that game's actually a sneaky over game at 44.5. Out of Bam Knight, Carter, and Pacheco. Man, like I said, KC, I don't think they're going to score like it's going to be a shootout today, but I do think they're going to kind of grind out and run the ball. Man, I like Pacheco. I mean, you watch him, he kind of pops off the screen at you a little bit,
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with that. I think both Jets running backs should be benched for Foreman and Pacheco. One thing I would call out, though, is that I believe Foreman was a little bit banged up this week. I think he's playing and is fine, but he's a late game. So if injuries are of any concern to you there, I would put Bam Knight as the third spot. Pacheco is also in the late window, I believe. So we're good there. Where is it? From Ryan Cheah, how is Fournette going to do today? Flex spot is either Fournette or Zay Jones standard league. So Fournette's going to play. He was nicked up in practice this week. He had, I believe it was a foot injury. Rashad White's also starting to take hold of that backfield. I think it is going to be a true timeshare where they're going to alternate series. That being said, I do expect the game flow to not be great. I as much as I hate to say it, I'm not super optimistic about the Bucks today. Nick Bosa's playing. It looks like Tristan Wirfs is going to be out. He was doubtful going into the game. They just have such a good defensive line. I'm not super bullish on our run game. I would love for them to establish the run and do that, but I would be surprised if that happens based on the play calling this year. So I would actually lean Zay Jones.
Yeah, and Zay Jones is going to play. I know he's a little nicked up too. I'm kind of worried Lawrence might struggle in Tennessee too, but I hear you. Fournette's usage is definitely on the way down.
Yeah. This is a tough one from Todd Miller. Full point PPR, Garrett Wilson, who has been on fire, or DeAndre Hopkins, flex to clinch the playoffs, needs help. One thing I will note is that in Buffalo, I don't think it's going to be super heavy, but there is expected to be some rain today. I almost put Garrett Wilson in the big brain parlay with over 63.5 receiving yards. I think he had 95 last time he played Buffalo. Man, this is really hard. Bill Belichick does scheme away to take your best player away.
What's Hopkins over under? Is it higher than 63.5?
I'm sure it is.
I'm going to look it up right now to answer
I'm going to lean DeAndre Hopkins. The prisoner of the moment part of me wants to say Wilson, but I think you have to go Hopkins.
76.5 and his over under 6.5 receptions. Andy's Monday night. You don't have to worry about weather. I'm going Hopkins.
Yeah. Yep. I just saw Jamal Williams question. Here we go. From Andrew Barrera, Jamal Williams, DJ Moore, or Jerry Jeudy, up your booty. Pick one, full point PPR. Mintzy, you have some balls for Rough and Ready. Do you want to address that? Going against the family?
That. Yeah, I'll definitely address that. People coming at me. No, I honestly just felt really, really empathetic for the poor. I wrote a blog yesterday too addressing this. That's on the site. But the poor Louisiana girl, Parker, took that fight on a week's notice and had like 2 people with her. And I just honestly, I felt bad for her. And I know I'm catching a lot of heat, but like, I moved up here when I was, a couple years ago, not knowing anybody. Imagine being 20 or 21, taking a fight on a week's notice, going against 6,000 stoolies. I just wanted to like support her a little bit because I felt empathy. And yeah, I'm catching a lot of blowback on it, but that's what it was. I really just felt bad for her, to be truthful.
Yeah, good on her for taking the challenge. Shout out to Grace for a great win.
Yeah.
All right, from this group, who do you like full point PPR?
Okay. What was the listing again? Because I trailed off mentally.
Sorry, Jamal Williams, DJ Moore, or Jerry Jeudy.
Man, I just don't see how you can bench Jamal Williams with him leading the NFL in touchdowns. That over under is 51.5, and he catches passes too. I love DJ Moore today, but like, come on, man, Jamal Williams is RB1, big time RB1 right now. So I'm rolling him.
Yeah. From Marcus Winings, maybe Winnings. Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, and then Mike Evans or DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Mike Evans has been slumping, but I don't think you can bench Mike Evans for Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Well, and Mari Cooper's banged up, but he's going today. If Cooper was out, maybe you could justify it. But the way Watson played last week, and the Bengals have a good pass D, so I'm going with Evans. The Burrow, Josh Allen. Damn, man, what a first. Who the hell's got this problem? I think I'm going Josh Allen, but God bless, dude. Do you have any? Just because the running ability, I think puts him over the top.
Yeah, I would kind of lean Burrow, honestly.
Okay, no, that's fine. Go Burrow then. No, I like them both. I don't have a strong opinion on it. So go.
The Jets are a really good defense, and Josh Allen didn't play well against them last time. Doesn't mean he's not going to absolutely crush them this time. But especially with the weather too, I'm going to lean Burrow, who's just been like pretty consistent all year.
Yeah, you know what? I'm backing Burrow too, because over-under is 4 points higher in the Cincy game. And what I think is going to happen in Buffalo Jets, I think the Jets' offense is going to struggle. I think they're due a pretty big regression game. And if that's how it is, the Bills could win without Allen going off.
Yeah. From Derek Drummond, Cheah, Latavius Murray, or Bam Knight and Zay Jones, or Brandon Ayuk. Okay, so this is 2 questions. So Latavius Murray or Bam Knight. I'm going to go Bam Knight. I don't necessarily think the Jets are going to win this game. I do think it could be a close game. But Latavius Murray just one of the most uninspiring fantasy running backs in recent memory. He has had some okay games, but he has to get in the end zone and catch passes, and he's not doing those things. So Bam Knight is going to be my guy there. And Zay Jones or Brandon Ayuk, oof. It's going to be tough to bench Brandon Ayuk. I know he's going against my Bucks, but I would go Brandon Ayuk here. We have historically been pretty good against the run, so I think they're going to have to air it out. I think Brock Purdy's going to be pretty good.
I know. I was going to say I kind of think Purdy not that bad. I know that he's Mr. Irrelevant, but I kind of got to. I think Shanahan can coach him up and he's not going to set the world on fire.
Yep.
But I think they can keep this thing going. And I thought it was very telling this week that Vegas. I looked up the Niners Super Bowl odds, and I was like, oh, I wonder how much they felt that Garoppolo. They didn't change them at all. So to me, that said something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with 210 yards, 2 touchdowns from Brock Purdy today. That would not surprise me. Let's see who else we got. As Frankfurter, Frank the Tank walks in. How we doing, Frank? Let's see. We got Jerry Jeudy or Gabe Davis full point PPR.
I'm going Gabe Davis. It's tough with him because he's so boom or bust, but he can just win you a week if he catches a couple of bombs. And it's just Jeudy. I mean, they can't score. The Davis is so much more likely to get in the end zone with the Bills' offense instead of Denver.
Yeah, I love this. A defense special teams question. What defense should I start? The Jets going against the Bills. Jets, very good defense. Tough matchup against Buffalo, but a divisional game, team they're familiar with. Or Arizona going against New England.
Do you have an answer here? Because I'm not really sure.
I would go Arizona.
Okay.
I don't think you should really start a defense against Josh Allen. I know he throws a lot of interceptions, but I just think you're going to give up a lot of points in doing that. And I would much rather face Mac Jones in a primetime setting than Josh Allen.
Okay.
Shea Daddy, pick one to bench. Full point PPR, 3 wide receiver league. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Samaje Perine, or James Cook. I'm going to bench Donovan Peoples-Jones because he's got Deshaun Watson throwing the ball, and we have not seen Deshaun Watson the 2020 version yet. So I would bench DPJ.
Okay.
From our guy Shark Talk, need 2. Latavius Murray, James Cook, Samaje Perine, or do I pick up Tony Jones Jr.? Talk about uninspiring running backs. Kareem Hunt or Travis Homer? I am not going to play Murray.
No.
Mixon is back today, so Perine's upside is going to be limited. I think James Cook is a fair start. I would probably go James Cook and Travis Homer.
I was going to say I like Homer with Walker out, and DJ Dallas has also got an ankle injury, so Homer could be in line for some stuff today.
Yeah, I think Schefter reported both of them are not expected to go, which would line up Homer to start. Here we go. It's just same guy, Stephen McFly, asking another defense question. Jets against Buffalo or Steelers against
Steelers easy here with the way the Ravens offense is
going against Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, they're Ravens. Even when Lamar's been playing, the Ravens offense has been struggling lately.
Yeah, before we get into this question, let me go through our final ad, which is, of course, from Chevy. Playoff pictures are starting to emerge. It's week 14, the last week of the regular season, but one team has already won it all. That team is Chevy, and its star player is the Silverado, a truck with unstoppable grit and determination. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks have earned more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. That is some serious hardware. Head on over to Chevy.com to learn more. Silverado, as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Chevy Silverado, one of our favorite advertisers. I would love to drive a Silverado. That thing looks very comfortable, spacious, and easy to navigate. Plus the tailgate, the bed, as I've said a few times in this program, I just imagine people at a tailgate right now, somebody has us pulled up and is looking for fantasy advice. So let's get to those questions. Derek Wallace, need a W today. Tua or Justin Herbert? It was announced that Derwin James is out tonight.
Damn, I like them both. I think this game's going to get super wild at 55.
Yeah.
Mike Williams back too.
Yep.
This is one of those games I might parlay plus like a lot of overs
Yeah.
in this one. Like put like Tyreek, Waddle, Tua, just like watch everything go crazy. Who would you go with these two? This one's tough. I mean, I think I slightly lean Herbert, but damn.
Yeah. Primetime Herbert is very good, so I'll lean that way.
He's also got
he's
finally got his weapons. He hadn't had them all year.
Yeah, I'm still worried about his protection, but yeah.
It's hard to bench Tua, though. I think Tyreek could really, on that part of the game should, you don't have to worry about weather there. He could really do some things.
Yeah, absolutely. From Curry Franklin, need an RB2. Barstool Lenny or Bam Knight. Thanks, boys.
This one's I'm letting you answer this. Fournette and Knight are two guys you're all over.
I'm going to go with Bam Knight. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lenny catch like 6 or 7 passes today. So if this is PPR, that could be a little bit better. But I believe Bam Knight caught all 5 passes last week. And I believe he is going to be the featured guy, whereas Fournette is going to be fully in a timeshare. Like, let's make no mistake about it.
You don't think Michael Carter's just going to be like third down back, you think?
That's what it seems like. Salah had a quote. He got asked this week, what's going to happen now that Michael Carter Jr. is healthy? What's going to happen to Bam Knight? And he said he's not going anywhere. So it sounds like he is going to be the fully entrenched starter.
Bam Knight, great name too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great name.
Let's stay on the Jets train from Blake Vincent, Mike White, or Brock Purdy. This has to be a super flex league. And Michael Gallup or Darius Slayton, 12-man PPR fighting for the last playoff spot. I'm going to go Brock Purdy here.
Good. I was leaning Purdy too. I just really feel like a White bad game's coming here.
And then Michael Gallup, who scored last week, or Darius Slayton. I'm going to go Slayton just because he's been hotter. I know the Eagles have a much better pass defense than the Texans, but I do think if Dallas gets ahead by a lot, they are going to take the air out of the football. The completions line for Dak Prescott is very low. I believe it was 19.5 when I checked last night, which he's hit in almost every game that he's been healthy. That tells me that they are expecting them to not throw. The spread was it like 17? Was it
17 in pro football, which you don't see much?
Oh boy. Our guy Michael Ken. This one's tough. Gus the Bus or Mike Williams.
I don't think this is tough because J.K. Dobbins is back, and all of a sudden this with Dobbins, Edwards.
Good call, yes.
Yeah, with that Dobbins, now that Dobbins is back, I think this backfield's too muddled to go with, and so I'm rolling Mike Williams here.
Love it. For our guy Nate Edgar, half-point PPR, pick 2, Kareem Hunt, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, who you mentioned is back, Michael Gallup, or George Pickens, 10x Scorpion.
This one, I'm thinking on this one. How much do you think Dobbins gets used here?
It's tough because I think he had a 2-touchdown game and some pretty heavy usage, but they just love Gus. I hate the entire Ravens backfield. Dave in the fantasy league with all the baseball players, he's been all over the Ravens backfield, and he has just been, it's whack-a-mole. So I would. Kareem Hunt's also tough because he's a backup. I almost want to say Gallup and Pickens and just avoid everyone else.
Okay, it is half-point PPR too, so going with the receivers if you're winning doubt has merit.
Yeah.
I don't hate Hunt today, though.
If you look at his splits, they're not great. He'll have a decent game, and then he'll have like I don't know if he's even reached double-digit points more than once.
I will go Gallup and Pickens. It's fine then. I'm fine with that.
Let's get caught up. Where are we? All right, from I'm Z-Man 89. Morning, lads. Must win. I got a flex. 1 half-point PPR. Rashad White, Dameon Pierce, Gabe Davis.
Do you like White or Davis more?
Davis has the monster ceiling, but he also has a very low.
God, I know. And the thing is, like, if you're trying to win one game, you just don't know what you're going to get.
So here's the thing about the Jets is that Sauce Gardner, who's their cornerback extraordinaire, does not travel. He plays on one side of the field. So they can motion Stephon Diggs, and he can be, unfettered from Sauce. Damian Pierce hate today because of the matchup. Rashad White, I don't love the Bucks running the ball today. I do think he can catch a lot of passes. It would not surprise me to see him catch 6 or 7 balls today. Half-point PPR. Ugh.
I'm leaning Gabe Davis, but just
I am
very
too.
slightly.
Yep.
I just feel like Gabe
too.
Davis. He's like a guy that if you bench and he's just got so much upside. If you bench and he goes off, you're just.
I'll caveat this for I'm Z-Man 89. If you are if you're favored by a good amount and you just need a floor, I would go with Rashad White. If you are even or an underdog, I would go Gabe Davis. From Jake G, full point PPR, Jeff Wilson Jr. or Raheem Mostert, or do I play both on bench Chubb or Debo?
I go Jeff Wilson here because I think he's been getting more of the time split. I actually think the Chargers don't have a good run defense. I like him. There's no chance in hell I'm benching Nick Chubb today against Cincy. He's got a high over and under. Bengals have a bad run D. I think he had a really good game on Monday night against them earlier this year when the Browns killed him too. So I'm going with Jeff Wilson Jr. here.
Yeah, it's that backfield is very muddy. Did Jeff Wilson have 1 carry last week, or I think he had like 3 rushing yards? But I think they do go back to the run a little bit this week. Chubb and Debo, you got to play, even though Debo hasn't been great lately. All right, we got time for a couple more. Matt Lawrence, full point PPR, DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner, DeAndre Swift, or Jamal Williams for flex.
It's a first world problem here. A lot of good options, but man, full point PPR though. Damn, you go it's Hopkins and Jamal Williams for me, but the full point PPR, I was gonna say Jamal Williams, and I saw the full point PPR, and Hopkins is over under 6.5 catches. That's hard to bench. But damn, Williams has 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He catches the ball too.
He does. I just don't think you can bench DeAndre Hopkins in a PPR league.
Yeah. And it's also, I know it's stupid, but like he's also Monday night, which when in doubt, I like.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's a primetime player, absolutely.
God, that's so tough pitching Jamal Williams though with that over under at 51.5.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
that's tough, man.
DeAndre Swift though took more carries last week.
Yeah, he'd been, a lot of Williams' success this year has been when Swift's been out.
Yep. From Isaac Fuentes, Mike Williams or Zay Jones, full point PPR, and David Njoku or Greg Dulcich. It's a win and in, so he needs us.
I'm definitely Mike Williams over Zay Jones. I'm definitively on that. The other one's a little tough because I know Dulcich has been kind of sneaky, a little underrated, and Njoku's still dealing with Watson, chemistry, and he'd been hurt. But I still like Njoku's upside. I don't think Dulcich has much upside.
I think, yeah. I mean, as far as touchdowns, because Russ throwing the ball, yeah, that's fair. So Njoku and Mike Williams. We'll take 2 more. Here we go. PPR with an IDP. Let's go. You ever played one of those, Mintzy?
No.
So you get points for tackles and sacks.
Okay. I think I have once, but it was a while ago.
TJ Watt or Nick Bolton at linebacker. In my experience, and I have played in these before, points per tackles are very big. So if you get a sack, it can be 2 points or 1 point or something like that. It's not like the end of the world. So I stay away from edge rushers just because
you want guys that are going to get a lot of tackles. You want guys that get 10, 15 tackles.
So I'm going to go with Nick Bolton here.
Okay.
Standard off-ball linebacker. I love that
damn
question,
good, to be honest. I watch a lot of Chiefs games. He's good.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. All right, Albie, Hollywood Brown or Garrett Wilson? This is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Brown being Monday night.
Let me tell you one situation. So Dave in this fantasy league, the show, which with all the MLB players, he's in essentially, it's not a win and in, but there's 2 guys. One of them's going to lose. So if he wins, he's probably going to be in. The guy he's playing against is starting Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and Hollywood Brown. I've never seen a 3-player stack before.
Oh wow.
Hollywood
This
Brown
one's
is really
so
good.
tough, man. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Hollywood Brown just because I think there's a little bit more points, a little bit more upside. But
Like I said, I've been fading the Jet. My stance is fading the Jets in Buffalo today, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah. There we go. Let's end it with Eric Delgado with a who dat.
Yeah, man. Shay, you want to chime in on that after your Monday night?
No, I mean you guys just couldn't finish the job, and
you see the report that Jeff Duncan, who's pretty respected, NOLA came out saying that Sean Payton is most like everybody's saying he's going to coach. What team is he most likely to coach? That it's New Orleans next year. I was like, man, I don't believe that, but just why are you going to get my hopes up? Maybe he sees what's happening and feels bad for his people. I don't know.
He doesn't strike me as that loyal of a guy, but we will.
I mean, he gave him 16 freaking years, man. That's a long damn time. I can't like. I feel like it's like unfair for Saints fans to, like you can't assume that he gave him 16 years. I mean, obviously I want him back. Obviously, I don't have any anyway.
Yeah. All right, this has been fun. We are just over time. We gotta get this up on the blog. But thank you to everybody for watching. We're gonna continue throughout the fantasy playoffs. But thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun. Week 14, a lot of people win and in. So good luck. Hopefully we see you in the winner circle on Tuesday. I'll see you later, Mintzy. It's been fun.
Yeah. Thank y'all for joining us.
Later, guys.